Welcome to Cinema Recaps. Today, I'm going to explain a German-American psychological thriller mystery film called Flight Plan. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Kyle Pratt is having a tough time this evening. Kyle is a widowed American aircraft engineer whose husband died in an automobile accident in Berlin. Julia, her 4-year-old daughter, will have to travel to the United States with her father's body. Kyle takes the medications that her doctor has recommended to help her control her anxiety the next morning. It's snowing outside, and a cab is ready to take them to the airport. Julia panics when Kyle loses her at the airport. Strangers, couples, travelers, and adults are just some of the people she meets. Nobody, on the other hand, is the size of a child. She takes another step forward. Julia can be located near a convenience store. In an agitated tone, she cautions her not to go anywhere without her consent. Kyle and Julia are getting ready to board a plane that Kyle designed. They are the first people to enter the cabin. Julia looks out her window at the view. Then she draws a small, awkward heart in the steam with her finger, using her breath to steam up that window. Kyle then falls asleep. She notices Julia has vanished from her seat when she wakes up from her seat. Kyle inquires among the other passengers, but no one recalls seeing her. According to a flight attendant, Julia might be playing with kids her age. Kyle looks down the aisle for Julia, but she is nowhere to be found. Kyle continues to gaze around with a growing sense of discomfort. She double-checks their row, where they'd slept out. She discovers the one-armed bear under the blanket. Julia, however, was not present. That's strange. Julia would never leave the house without her teddy. Then she asks Stephanie, a flight attendant, to assist her in finding Julia. Stephanie agrees to assist her and announces that a youngster has gone missing. Stephanie then informs her, much to her amazement, that there is no record of her daughter boarding the aeroplane. Kyle is confused. She is certain that her daughter was present, so she tries to prove it by displaying her boarding ticket. Kyle, on the other hand, is unable to locate Julia's boarding card. Her daughter's backpack is also missing from the overhead bin, which she discovers. Julia couldn't have gotten up here by herself because she isn't tall enough. Jean Carson, a sky marshal, notices the situation and begins to monitor her while she searches for her kid. Kyle requests to see the captain, Marcus Rich, in order to enlist his help in finding her daughter. The pilot inquires about Kyle after learning that there is no record of her daughter boarding the flight. Is currently taking any medicine. Kyle claims she was taking sleeping medications to assist her cope with her anxiety as a result of her husband's death. Kyle also tells that her spouse died 6 days ago after falling from their roof. She is adamant that it was suicide. The captain and the rest of the crew believe Kyle has become deranged as a result of her husband's death and has fantasized about bringing her daughter aboard. Kyle is adamant about looking for Julia from head to toe. Captain Rich grudgingly agrees and directs the crew to conduct an extensive search. The cabin's lights are switched on. All passengers are reminded not to get out of their seats. Stephanie descends to the avionics section and searches the area, but no 4-year-old can be found. Pratt notices an Egyptian while she is seeking. She approaches him, recognizing him from somewhere. She tries to recall something, but her mind is too jumbled right now. Kyle then requests that the captain search the cargo hold for Julia. Captain Rich refuses, claiming angrily that there are hundreds of passengers on board. Aboard this aircraft who are now receiving no attention because all flight attendants are on duty. Are frantically searching for a child they don't believe was ever on board. Kyle isn't happy about it. Then she dashes over to the Egyptian. She accuses the man of stealing her daughter because she recalls seeing him the last time she saw him. Looking into her daughter's room late at night. The man is irritated by the accusation, so he displays the hotel's proof of receipt. He resided in a house that was far apart from hers. Then chaos ensues. Kyle makes the man confess, and the two fight. Carson, who has had enough of her antics, claims that her husband's death now makes more sense. After just a few hours with her, he's ready to leap. Captain Marcus receives a cable from the hospital in Berlin not long after that states Julia was on the roof with her father when he fell and died of internal injuries. The team now feels she is insane. Kyle vehemently denies it. Julia is most likely still alive and on the plane, she believes. By fabricating such a scenario, Carson now perceives Kyle as a threat, so he ties her and keeps her in her seat. Lisa, a therapist, approaches Kyle and tries to console her, making Kyle doubt her own abilities. She is finally coming to terms with her daughter's loss. She does, however, see a heart Julia had written on the window next to her earlier. The seat is real. Kyle is increasingly certain that something strange is happening. After that, she persuades the therapist to allow her use the restroom. Instead, she climbs into the upper compartment and tampers with the plane's systems. Putting on the oxygen masks and turning off the lights, all of the passengers and crew members begin to fear, but Carson recognizes that Kyle is to blame. She takes a dumbwaiter to the lower freight deck, taking advantage of the confusion. There, she discovers her husband's coffin. She opens David's casket, expecting to discover Julia inside, but all she sees is her husband's body. There's nothing else. Carson locates her, shackles her, and escorts her back, explaining that the flight has been cancelled. She'll be brought into custody at Goose Bay Airport, where she'll make an emergency stopover. One of the passengers began to applaud as she is taken to her seat. The applause grows louder and louder, filling the deck. Others, including the Egyptian, are staring at her. Kyle makes her way to the back row, where she sits. Kyle pleads with Carson one last time, requesting that she search the plane when it lands. Carson mulls it over for a moment before deciding to talk with the captain. Instead of meeting with the captain, he makes his way down to the cargo deck. He takes 2 explosives and a detonator from David's, Kyle's spouse, casket. He then descends to the avionics area and secures the explosives to the platform side, uncovering Julia, who is sound asleep. Carson is shown to be the mastermind behind all of this at this point. Carson and Stephanie had planned to kidnap the plane in exchange for a $50 million ransom. They kidnapped Julia to force Kyle to unlock the plane because of her knowledge about it. The coffin where he placed the explosives and detonator. Carson informs the captain that Kyle is a hijacker and threatens to detonate a bomb on the plane unless the airline deposits $50 million into a bank account. Carson then informs and alarms Stephanie that he plans to blow up the plane and kill everyone on board. Julia is dead and Kyle is with the detonator in her hand. Kyle still can't believe what she's seen and looks out the window with trepidation. As the plane approaches landing, I look out the window. Because of the emergency landing, other passengers are perplexed. Passengers exit the plane once it has landed. Kyle confronts the captain as he is leaving, and the skipper angrily says that the ship is sinking. The ransom was paid. Kyle is confused by the situation. Carson is to blame for everything, she soon discovers. He takes advantage of the circumstance to distort the truth and make Kyle appear to be a terrorist. When Kyle realizes this, he decides to use his position as a hijacker, ordering Carson to stay aboard and the rest of the crew to evacuate. Carson hesitates, but he recognizes that if he refuses, the deception will be exposed. Would belong to him. Kyle uses a fire extinguisher to knock Carson unconscious as soon as the plane door closes. He is handcuffed to a rail and the detonator is taken from his pocket. Stephanie emerges from her hiding place. Carson is able to regain consciousness. He pursues Kyle, shooting until she is trapped in the cockpit. To deceive him, she unlocks a hatch door to the plane's attic and throws out a binder. Carson walks away when he hears a bang from upstairs. Kyle leaves and comes face to face with a remorseful Stephanie. She hits her, who panics and departs the plane instantly. Kyle searches the apartment for her daughter and discovers Julia, who is unconscious. She hugs and carries her right away. Carson quickly follows, and while searching, discloses that he murdered her spouse in order to smuggle drugs into the country. Knowing that his casket would not be checked at the checkpoint, he placed explosives inside it. With the detonator in hand, Kyle drags Julia inside the aircraft's non-combustible hold. Carson fires a shot at her as she shuts the door. She detonates the explosives, exploding the plane and killing Carson, using the non-combustible walls of the hold to protect them. The passengers and crew are stunned when they witness the explosion. Kyle reappears with her daughter a few moments later. All of the passengers are stunned when Kyle carries her daughter out onto the tarmac. Recognizing that she had been telling the truth all along. Captain Rich meets Kyle the next morning at the airport terminal and apologizes for his mistrust. Stephanie is handcuffed and escorted away by the FBI, where an agent informs them that the Berlin bombings have occurred. The director of the mortuary has also been detained. Kyle takes Julia past the throng of travelers who have come to terms with the truth. Everyone is taken aback and feels guilty for not trusting her. Julia wakes up and says, "Are we there yet?" as they prepare to depart, before placing her kid into a van to drive them away. As a mark of respect, the Egyptian passenger assists her in picking up her suitcase in the last scene as well as forgiveness. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like, it really helps the channel. Thank you for watching.